Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and I'm going to show you today how to take your smartphone and flash your iDatalink Maestro MRR2. This is going to be done through Bluetooth for your Soundstream HDHU.14Si or your new Soundstream V2 Radio. This is how you're going to update both the module and make changes to things like your thumb control layout. So watch the video and I'll show you just how easy it is to make those changes on the fly. All right, quick note before we get started. If you have the iDatalink Maestro MRR, the cheaper option, you're gonna have to remove your module from your fairing and plug it into your computer with a USB cable. You will have to use the included iDatalink USB cable that came with that module or with your radio if you bought it as a bundle. So we have another video on that. You need to stop now, watch that video. Volunteer Audio has also done that. All right, so continuing on with our MRR2 video. First step, you're gonna get your smartphone. You're going to go to the Apple App Store, or on your Android users, you're going to go to the Google Play Store, and you're going to look for the WebLink Maestro app. Okay, so it's iDatalink WebLink Maestro. Download that app to your phone, and we're going to continue on from there. And I'll show you a screen showing you what we do on our phone to get logged in and get to our bike. All right, so at this point, you've already downloaded the WebLink Maestro app. It's on your phone. You've made an account, which is free, and you've logged in. So we're at our bike. We've got our app brought up on our phone, and you'll see it says no device has been detected, drag down to retry. It's because we don't have the power on our bike. So you have a limited amount of time when you first turn your ignition on to actually connect to your module. So we're going to drag down, which is going to refresh our screen. We've got our radio powering up, which is also powering up our Maestro device. And now I can see my Maestro RR2. I'm going to click that device and I'm going to bring it up. There's a few things you need to know. We're going to have to go through all of these steps to make sure they're right, because we're assuming this is a new install. Now, if it's not a new install, we can go in and we can just edit the configuration of our old install. So we're going to first tell it what kind of bike we have. So let's bring up these options. So we're going to go to our motorcycle. So right here on your phone, you're going to select your year. Now this is a 2014 Harley, and this is an Electra Glide Police. So I've got kind of the most base model Harley, but you want to put in what type you have. So we're going to scroll here to Harley Davidson. I've put in 2014. I have an Electra Glide. And now I always select the steering wheel controls or hand controls with the most possible options, because it will self-learn what you have. So we're going to select the one that does more options. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to select my radio brand. This is a Soundstream. And now I'm going to select my model. So whether you have the HDHU.14Si or the V2, you're going to pick the correct one. The SI is the top option here. Next, you have to enter in your serial number. Now you can get this a couple places. It's on the bottom of your radio. It's on the box it shipped in. But the easiest place to get it, we're going to go to our radio. We're going to go to our home screen. We're going to go to our settings icon. We're going to go to system settings. We're going to scroll down to about, and we're going to select about. There is our radio serial number. So now I'm going to enter in my radio serial number, 2510524. Now this is important. If that serial number does not match, when you're done, your thumb controls are not going to work. Now we're going to pick the recommended firmware, and we're going to pick the latest firmware, which is 2.3. So I've selected that firmware. All right, so now it's going to ask some other options, like do we want to have gauges, factory amplifier, steering wheel controls. We're going to leave all these on. If you don't have a factory amp, it's going to learn that automatically. So just leave all of these selected and hit continue. So this is very important. The default steering wheel controls, I do not like at all. If you already bought a radio from Volunteer Audio, it's going to come pre-programmed with all of these settings done the best way possible, and I'm going to explain to you why. First off, let's look at our top part, our volume up. So if you notice, preset volume up is on press once, but it's not on hold. What that means is if you hold the button, it's not going to continue to turn up. So we're going to hit hold, and we're going to also assign it as volume up. We're going to take volume down, and we're going to do the same thing. So whether it be a short press or long press, both are going to be volume down. That makes it work more like factory. Left side seek up. So if we're going to press once, we're going to want it to seek up. And we're also going to set, if you hold it, that it also seeks up. We do that so it won't start trying to fast forward if you're on things like YouTube Music. So seek up and seek down need to be exactly what they say, but you're going to put it in both short press and long press for hold. So seek down is selected twice. Now I'm going to left side home. So the home button, when you press it once, is going to do source. If you hold it, it's going to mute the radio. We like that. We're going to leave that alone. The left side voice, which is the voice button up here, we're going to make it do your voice command or voice assistant in your phone. Right side, so on our right side controls, up, we want to do up. Down, we want to do down. Left is left, right is right. We're not going to make it do anything on hold. We could program that if we wanted to for other options, and I'll give you an example for that. So if we wanted to do right side, right button, and we wanted to hold it, we could go in here and we could do one of those Maestro programmable outputs. Now it looks like we have 3 options here, so we can do our output 1, 2, or 3. That's going to control a bank of relays. They could do things like turn lighting on and off, lower down a center stand, things like that. You're going to have 3 of those outputs, but it does require an additional part added onto your MRR. But I'm going to go ahead and select this as none. And we'll go back out of here. So right side info, so that's the button here on our bar. If we quick press it, it's going to bring up our motorcycle info screen. If we hold it long term, it's going to bring up our gauge screen. I like that layout. Right side PTT buttons. So that's going to be these buttons here. If you press in, it's going to answer your call. If you hold it, it's going to hang up that call. Our squelch buttons, positive or negative, are not doing anything currently. They could also be programmed for those outputs. It's cool to be able to set those for other options if you decide you want to do that. Right side, enter, we're just going to do enter. So these buttons, by laying it out this way, when we're in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on the SI, it's going to let us toggle across our screen, and pressing in is going to select that source, which is really cool. On V2, it's going to let you scroll across any of the pages in the radio when it's set up like this. So this is the correct way to do it. Now in the rear, if you had Tour Pack buttons, you can program those or not program those. You're going to see the only thing programmed here is volume up, source, volume down, and call answer. Now, if you don't want your passenger messing with your radio, this is how you fix that. You turn those off and tell them they didn't work. But you can reassign those for anything you want it to do. So now that we've got our controls done, we're going to hit continue. All right, so now we're just looking over everything that we've done, the type of controls, the firmware, all the options of the bike. And once we think that all of that is done, we've looked it over, we're going to hit flash. Now it is now flashing. It's going to communicate with iDatalink. They're going to verify your serial number, and now it's writing all this info into our MRR module. Now we didn't have to remove our fairing. We didn't have to go through any crazy steps. We just had to connect with our phone. So we're going through that process. We're about 15% of the way done now. It's a very simple process. So definitely keep your ignition on during this process. Don't turn your bike off, because if you do, you're going to lose communication, and we don't want to do that right in the middle of a flash. All right, so it's updating now. It's resetting our radio, just verifying that everything took. So it just turned the RR to off. Now it's booting it back up, doing its update and its verification. As soon as it's done, we'll see our radio turn back on. Here comes our radio back up. Writing configurations, and we're done. So pretty simple process. I think they've made it very easy. iDatalink does an amazing job of setting up their website and their apps to just be so easy to use. From here, you'll have an install guide on how to install your radio based on what you just did, or also a wallet reference card. This card's pretty cool. You can save it, and by downloading that, it's going to tell you how you laid out all your thumb controls. So if you ever have a question, how do I have it? You can just look back at that reference. Very, very simple process. Very, very awesome device. And if you ever need to make a change, it's just that simple again. Maybe about a minute time there for it to do its update at the end, but really you could do this process in probably just a few minutes once you've been through it the first time. All right, so thank you for watching this video. I hope it encouraged you to take on a task like this on your own, whether it was installing your radio to begin with, or updating your Maestro later, or any of the other things you need to do. Thank you for watching Volunteer Audio. Definitely check out the rest of our step-by-step videos at volunteeraudio.com. They're at the top of the page. They're easy to access and easy to follow along with. If you need help picking the right system, or if you have other questions related to this or other upgrades you want to do, reach out to us at 1-844-30-AUDIO. You'll get a knowledgeable live person at Volunteer Audio to answer those questions. You can also comment below if there's any questions you want that I can just text back or message back through YouTube or Facebook, depending on where you're watching this video. Definitely subscribe to us on YouTube to see the latest in Harley audio. how to install it, how to use it, and later, maybe even how to update it. So anything you need to know about Harley Audio, we're going to share there, and you're going to be one of the first to know about it. Also, follow us on Facebook. When we have promotions and things going on, we'll launch those sales videos and things normally first on Facebook, so you want to follow us there as well. Like this video, share it with your friends. By doing so, it helps us. It doesn't cost you anything, but we're really appreciative when you do it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.